Hey everyone, welcome to 59 Tops Friday presented by Wax Pack Wisdom, where we talk baseball history through the cards we love. My name is Jake T. O'Donnell. We built the iconic 1959 Topps set, and in this series, we're going through every card to talk about the players, teams, and people who made up Major League Baseball in 1959. Today, we'll cover cards 10 through 18 in the set. Card number 10 belongs to Mickey Mantle of the New York Yankees. 1959 was Mantle's 9th year in the majors, and at this point, he was the most popular baseball player in the world. He averaged 31 homers a season, earned the Triple Crown in 1956, and was the AL MVP that year and 1957. His ability to hit for power, average, and show a preternatural batting eye from both sides of the plate had rarely been seen in MLB before or since. When healthy, he was an outstanding base runner and could run down every ball in center field. The entire country got to watch him play on the biggest stage nearly every October, and he always performed. He hit at least one homer in every World Series he played in from 1952 through 1960, and to this day, he holds the record for most career World Series home runs with 18. That is what earned him millions of adoring fans, adoration that endures today. With Mantle's tales of on-field greatness come tales of his struggles with many, many injuries. The sports writer Tom Meany wrote this in Sport magazine, quote, "Always within Mantle is the knowledge that any game he plays could be his last. One throw, one swing, one slide could write the end of his major league career. Yet Mick plays every game to the hilt, a tremendous tribute to his courage." Close quote. Words like these are often written about a player near the end of their career. However, Meany wrote that in 1957, 2 years before this card was even produced. Additionally, there were Mantle's noted off-field distractions. He finished with 536 home runs. But could he have hit over 700 with better health? And if he took better care of himself? We'll never know. But for the millions who watched what he was able to do on a baseball field, there will never be a greater symbol for the greatest sport ever created than Mickey Mantle. Card number 11 belongs to Billy Hunter of the Cleveland Indians. 1959 would have been Hunter's 7th season in the major leagues. However, he did not actually play for Cleveland that season, and 1958 marked the last of 6 years mostly as a reserve infielder who played across the diamond for the Browns/Orioles franchise, Yankees, A's, and Indians. He spent the 1959 season with the Indians' AAA team before calling it quits. He worked for years in the Orioles organization and would later spend parts of 2 seasons as manager of the Texas Rangers in 1977 and 1978. He later was the head baseball coach at Towson University. Hunter hails from Punxsutawney, Pennsylvania, home of a famous groundhog you may have heard of. As we go through 59 Topps Fridays, we'll make note of any players from the set who are still alive. And we're happy to report that as of this recording, Hunter is 95 years old and will turn 96 in June of 2024. Card number 12 belongs to Vern Law of the Pittsburgh Pirates. 1959 was Law's 8th year as an MLB pitcher and was building his reputation as a top starter in the National League. He debuted in 1950 for the Pirates and produced middling results for 2 years, and then missed the 1952 and 1953 seasons serving in the Army. He finally found success and a foothold in the Pirates rotation in 1955. In this year, 1959, Law tossed 266 innings with a 2.98 ERA and 20 complete games, but the best was yet to come. He was the ace of the 1960 NL pennant-winning Bucks with a 3.08 ERA in 271.2 innings pitched, winning 20 games and completing 18. After helping lead the Pirates to a miraculous 7-game World Series win with 2 victories and 3 starts, he won the 1960 Cy Young Award, which at the time was given to the best pitcher in both major leagues. While he never equaled his 1960 output again, Law remained a mainstay in the Pirates' rotation until 1967, after which he retired. His son Vance played 11 years in the majors, mostly as an infielder. As of this recording, Vern Law is 93 years old and will turn 94 in March of 2024. Card number 13 belongs to Dick Gernert of the Boston Red Sox. 1959 was Gernert's 8th year in the majors, all of which had been with the Red Sox at that point. Born in Reading, Pennsylvania, Gernert played at Temple University before starting his professional baseball career. He averaged 20 home runs a season his first 2 years for the Red Sox as their regular first baseman. His playing time waned through the years, and after 1959 he was traded to the Cubs. He finished his career bouncing around with the Cubs, Tigers, and the expansion Houston Colt 45s before retiring. Gernert spent the rest of his career as a minor league manager, major league coach, and scout. Card number 14 belongs to Pete Whisenant of the Cincinnati Reds. 1959 would mark Whisenant's 6th season in the majors. He started with the Braves in 1952, and after seasons with the Cardinals and Cubs, made his way to the Reds for 1957. Whisenant was a light-hitting reserve outfielder with occasional pop. He hit 11 home runs in both 1956 and 1958. Between 1960 and 1961, he played for the Reds, Indians, and Senators before they moved on to Minnesota. Whisenant later founded a baseball clinic for young players in Punta Gorda, Florida, after his playing career ended. Card number 15 belongs to Dick Drott of the Chicago Cubs. 1959 was Drott's 3rd season in the majors. He got off to a hot start with the Cubbies in 1957, tossing 229 innings with a 3.58 ERA and 15 wins, and Drott finished 3rd in NL Rookie of the Year balloting. He did, however, lead the NL in walks with 129, and his luck began to run out in 1958 and 1959 with an ERA of 5.50 over those 2 years. He rarely started after that, was picked by Houston in the expansion draft prior to the 1962 season, pitched 2 unproductive years there, then retired after a season in the minors in 1964. While with the Cubs, Drott was once ejected from a game for attempting to bring a wheelchair onto the field to help a teammate get to first base after they claimed they were hit by a pitch. Card number 16 belongs to Joe Pignatano of the Los Angeles Dodgers. 1959 was his 3rd season in the big leagues. A Brooklyn native, Pignatano started with his hometown team in 1957 before moving with the club to LA a year later. He was the backup catcher to John Roseboro for the 1959 World Champion Dodgers, appearing in 1 game in the World Series. He later played with the Athletics and Giants before returning to New York for the Mets' inaugural season in 1962. Pignatano then went into coaching, winning the 1969 World Series with the Mets as their bullpen coach. While working in Queens, Pignatano maintained a vegetable garden in the Shea Stadium bullpen. Card number 17 is the first of many multiplayer cards in the 1959 Topps set. This one is Danny's All-Stars, featuring Pittsburgh Pirates sluggers Frank Thomas and Ted Kluszewski, as well as manager Danny Murtaugh. Since Thomas and Kluszewski have their own cards in this set, we'll focus on reading the narrative on the back of the card. It's worth noting that Thomas was traded to the Reds just before the start of the 1959 season, and his actual player card in the set is of him with the Reds. Danny Murtaugh took the helm of the Pirates in August 1957 and started making plans for a big year in Pittsburgh in 1958. He succeeded brilliantly, and the Pirates rebounded from their 7th place position and 33 games out of first in 57 to 2nd position in the league standings, and only 8 games away from the pennant-winning Braves in 58. As a player, Danny was a Forbes Field favorite with his expert fielding and fine hitting. The clever manager has the pleasure of having under his wing 2 of the top long ball hitters in the game in Ted Kluszewski and Frank Thomas. Ted came to Pittsburgh in 1958 after 10 years with the Redlegs. He's among the league leaders in homers with a lifetime of 255. Add to this the switch of Frank Thomas to third base, his 35 home runs and 109 RBIs in 1958, and you have some of Pittsburgh's secrets of success. Card number 18 belongs to Jack Urban of the Kansas City Athletics. 1959 was Urban's 3rd and final year in the majors. He was signed by the Yankees before the 1949 season out of Omaha, Nebraska. While still in the minors, he was part of a mammoth 13-player trade between the Yankees and A's that included the aforementioned Billy Hunter. Urban pitched well his first year in Kansas City, sporting a 3.34 ERA and 129.1 innings pitched. But he struggled thereafter in 1958, was traded back to the Yankees before 1959, but did not pitch for them. He made 8 appearances for the Cardinals. in 1959. Notably, Urban could handle the bat well for a pitcher, hitting .282 in 42 plate appearances in 1957. That's going to do it for this edition of 59 Tops Friday on Wax Pack Wisdom. Do you have a story about one of the people, players, or teams we discussed today? Let us know in the comments. We'd love to hear it. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a like and subscribe to our channel so you don't miss any of our Wax Pack Wisdom content. In the video description, you will find our source material for this episode, links to where you can follow us on all social media channels, as well as a list of our favorite nonprofits and charities. Please consider a donation to one of them if you enjoyed this content. We'll see you next time on Wax Pack Wisdom. Take care.